What is the Altithermal? Okay, what is the Altithermal? Well, children, it's one of those terms. And it's one of those complex ones that is really actually pretty basic underneath it all, but you can kind of get lost. The short answer is it's a time from around 9,000 years ago to 5,000 years ago where the Earth was just a tick warmer than it is today. Focus on a tick, meaning like a degree Celsius, which is like 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, these kinds of things, these kind of climatic changes, I find have similarities to each other. Whether we're talking about the Altithermal, the medieval warm period, the Little Ice Age, all these climatic events are similar because they operate differently in different areas of the world. So what I'm telling you are generalities that may or may not be true depending where on Earth you are. Like for the Altithermal, it made a little more difference the further north you went. So you might have 3 or 4 degrees difference at the North Pole. You know, that really counts. But really for most of us in the mid latitudes towards the equator, you know, we're talking 1 degree. Still counts though. That's what's interesting with this stuff. Oh, hey, it's just 1 degree. Ooh, but 1 degree matters. Haven't we seen that recently? With global warming? Notice a little difference around here? I do. And ancient people would have noticed this too. So realize we're coming out of the Ice Age, right? We're coming out of the Pleistocene where temperatures were a handful of degrees cooler. Now we're sort of jetting up past the averages of today just a little bit. So here in California, you can think of that time period as being, a degree Celsius more. The thermal maximum of the Altithermal, and who doesn't talk about the thermal maximum of the Altithermal? We all know. It's right around 8,000 years ago, so around 6,000 BC. That's when it's at its height. And again, the height, about a degree. What does this mean? Why do we care about the Altithermal? Well, here in California and on the West Coast, things are going to be warmer, a little warmer, but also a little drier. And you can see how that's going to matter for people because it's going to be harder to get fresh water. We're experiencing that right now. We're in a horrendous drought. Right? The same kind of things are going to be happening to people of 8,000 years ago. It's going to make things more difficult. But there is a little bit of positive news in this warm and dry time. For us on the West Coast, the ocean was actually a little bit cooler than average. And you're like, but Kinkella, doesn't that suck to go swimming then 8,000 years ago? I don't want to swim in a cold ocean. I don't either. But I do want to go fishing in one because ocean productivity is better if the ocean is a little cooler. So you're going to have more fish. You're going to have more resources out on the ocean for you to take. So that would mean that cultures at that time may have focused more on ocean and coastal resources. It would only make sense. So after the thermal maximum of about 8,000 years ago, the temperature slowly sort of metered down to averages of today by about 5,000 years ago. So you see in the Altithermal a spike in heat, mild one, hitting its high at about 8,000 years ago of, let's say, plus 1 degree Celsius, wiggling down to modern temperature by 5,000 years ago. There you go.